Hey there, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up data-powered onboarding emails. Now, onboarding emails make a big impact on user activation. No one can deny that. These emails not only help a new user get acquainted with the product, but are also very effective in bringing users back into the product to get them to perform the next best action. Now, before we proceed, here's a quick refresher from part 1 of the series where I covered the fundamentals of data-powered messaging. So, messages in a linear campaign are delivered on a predefined cadence, like one email every day for 5 days. And every user who enters the campaign receives the same set of messages. On the contrary, messages in a data-powered campaign are triggered based on the events the user performs or doesn't perform in the app. I highly recommend watching part 1 if you haven't already. Now, back to part 2. So there are 4 main steps in the process of setting up data-powered onboarding emails. Step 1, deciding the events you need to trigger your onboarding emails. Step 2, building your core segments in your CDP. Step 3, bringing persona data into the mix only if persona-based personalization is a priority. And step 4, syncing your segments to your email platform. Now, let me walk you through each using a workflow automation tool as an example. So the only prerequisite to figure out which events to track is a keen understanding of your product. I recommend listing down the key things you want new users to do once they land in your app after signing up. Once you've done that, narrow it down to 1 or maybe 2 core events that a new user must perform before they can get to the aha moment in your app. The point in time when a new user has derived value from a product for the first time and can be considered activated. And finally, come up with clear names for the events you've decided to track. Now, for example, in a workflow automation tool, the event that takes place after account created is workflow saved, which is essentially triggered only if the user creates and saves the workflow. Workflow saved is followed by workflow activated, which is essentially the aha moment or the activation milestone. Now, users who don't save a workflow within, say, 24 hours of signing up receive an email asking if they're stuck and offering a resource that walks them through the steps to create a workflow. Similarly, a user who has saved a workflow but has an activated one within a predefined window will receive an email asking them to activate a workflow to experience the magic of the product. Now, there are multiple ways to set up these workflows, and how you do it really depends on the capabilities of your email platform. Now, while most of the well-known tools in the space will be able to handle these with ease, it's important to go through your provider's documentation to understand their level of support for event-based campaigns. Next, think about the additional pieces of information you need about a core event you've decided to track. Additional info such as page or the screen name, where the event is performed, or any other piece of information that can be used to further personalize your campaign. For example, the event workflow saved can be accompanied by the names of the apps being used in a workflow. This additional data, known as event properties or attributes, can be used to create more specific user segments or can also be used in the email body itself. Now, moving on, step 2 in the process of setting up a data-powered campaign is to build your core segments in your CDP. After the events are instrumented and the data is made available in your CDP, you can go ahead and start building segments that you'll use in your email platform. Now, to build a segment, you must specify an event a user has performed, like account created, and an event they're yet to perform, like workflow saved. When creating segments, it's also useful to keep in mind that users should exit a segment and move to the next one after performing the desired actions. Now, step 3 is to bring persona data into the mix. As I mentioned earlier, this is an optional step and is required only if you wish to deliver persona-based personalization, where event-based emails or data-powered emails also account for a user's persona data. The primary purpose of persona data is to dynamically personalize the contents of your emails without having to create separate ones for each persona. By doing so, you can make your data-powered emails all the more relevant and engaging. Now, persona-based personalization can be implemented early on if you're already collecting persona data from users in the onboarding flow and the data is available in your CDP. If not, it's totally fine to come back to the step in the next phase. I don't recommend waiting for persona data to set up your data-powered messaging campaigns. Savvy companies do tend to include a short survey in their onboarding process, but there are other ways to gather persona data, including responses to messages or in-app preference centers and so on. Now, once you have persona data available, I recommend choosing one user property such as industry or age that you can use to personalize the contents of your emails by inserting use cases or resources or recommendations tailored for each persona. For example, the email sent to users who are yet to save their first workflow includes links to industry-specific templates that are inserted dynamically based on the value of the industry property. Similarly, a fitness app that wants to increase the, say, daily active user count can send daily emails with dynamic links to workouts tailored for users based on their age group, without creating multiple versions of the daily email. Now, it helps to keep in mind that even though it's a decent amount of work to implement persona-based personalization, the benefits are well worth the effort. Now, finally, step 4, sync your segments to your email platform. Once your segments are ready, sync syncing them to your email platform is rather straightforward. You can use a ready-made integration offered by a CDP. And once that is done, you definitely want to run a few tests to ensure that the user enters and exits your campaigns as expected based on the segments they belong. So that's it. Here's a quick recap of the 4 steps to set up data-powered onboarding emails. Step 1, decide the events you need. Step 2, build your core segments. Step 3, if needed, bring persona data into the mix. And remember, this is an optional step. And step 4, sync your segments to your email platform. Of course, you need to draft the emails and set up your campaigns, but I'm sure you don't need my help with any of that. So good luck. Hope this video was useful. Thanks for watching. And by the way, there's a written version of this guide that contains additional context, examples, and diagrams. So do check it out below. And one more thing before you go, there's a ton of useful data content on our free learning hub for you, neatly organized into topics and learning paths. Don't believe me? Well, see it for yourself on databeast.community.